It's August 29, 2022. And things have gotten even way worse. There's no more real communication. People are killing each other on the streets, and I hear too, even in police stations or whatever, around the country, they literally are shooting each other for not knowing who's who and what's what. Plutonian attacks are getting really, really more like indescribable, especially what they're doing to my son. So many good people came from all over the world to help us. And in the end, everyone who hears the truth that I say gets killed so fast, and even before they get to relay the message or the truth, and then these jerks who work for them fucking plutonium fucking alien goofs go around telling their families and the people who came to help that I'm the one who hurt them. And then they come around and get angry and hurt my son even more. I haven't seen my son in so long. I don't really want to be here anymore. I really can't see some things. And I always tell people to look at my eyes and there's something about it. And I always thought that the things that I saw there in my eyes I always thought they were angels when I was a little kid. I remember I was 14 years old and my friend and I were laying on this big rock looking at the sky. And I asked her if she sees these things too. And she says, "No, what do you mean?" And I said, "There's just things in the sky that now they've changed." And now, most of the time when I'm not looking at anything, what they've put in my slide is the image of this this doctor in the U.S., a female doctor. She put the contents of the uh, COVID vaccination under a microscope, and that was something that I saw too in the video, and now that's all I can see in my eyes, as if I have to figure out what it is, because it was pretty fucked up. It was not of this world. And I don't know if they're from Pluto either, because they're different. Um, a lot of my friends are gone, family. You know what they do to soldiers and good people here? They literally cut off arms and legs. And I seen it once. I froze. I had that neurotransmission interruption. I couldn't move. And when I finally was able to, I freaked out. And then I was, told to move away from Vauxhall. So I seen it once, but from behind, I couldn't believe it, and I couldn't move. And And you see a lot of like real heroes, like veterans, real soldiers, good cops, good people with no, not necessarily bad training. That's what I hear. I see, marks like on the side of the road that could only be something like that had happened to them. And now I can't see them at all. When I try, and people tell me, like, it was right in front of you, how could you say you didn't see it? And why the fuck would I lie about that? I wish I never left Vancouver. At least in Vancouver, people knew me and would say Candy would be the first one to run towards somebody who needed help. So don't ever say that she would ignore someone on the side of the street who needed help. I I contacted NASA before about aerogel and about like an idea I had that, when I thought things were still going to be normal. And my job was, so I reapplied, but this time like as a reserve. And because the first time, like, like something happened there and I lost my mind. And like, I couldn't believe, like, after like 10 years that, you know, when the constabulary in Vauxhall came out from a call, and they looked like they'd seen a ghost, and they said that this was something that the police couldn't handle on their own. I still tried to call for help for them, and I was able to like contact five officers that were all around the world that were already like, like living off the grid. And they came to help, and they actually remembered me. It used to be before people would be like wearing a poppy flower, you know, in honor of the heroes. Now, what they've done to soldiers and soldiers' children, soldiers' families, and everybody else, even the ones who used to say that they respect, like, you know, like heroes, they pile on our children, and the ones that were left behind. My friends who went running the first time, like, they saw that there were people who needed help and left their children home, thinking that, you know, we've taught them right and we've done right in our lives, and the world will, like, take care of them too. And that wasn't what happened. When you see like a real, like, Canadian hero, a disabled veteran, paralyzed torso, being raped on a fucking porn site on the internet with tears running down the side of his eye and fucking maple leaf on his heart. Nobody fucking dared to do anything or say anything about it. Or if anybody did, people got afraid. I know, it's so scary. But you know what? When the rest of the world at that time told me I was insane and that they made me feel like worthless and that I was disabled, the CAF gave me a chance. They said I could work a desk job, even if I had schizophrenia. They said at that time, the doctor said here in Lethbridge. But I went there and they said everybody who wants to serve has a right to serve. The last contact I had with my superiors recognized me. They said, if you make it here to Lethbridge, we'll be here. If not, and just we'll be here. That's what they said. And first, when I called them and I said, that the constabulary needed help, they said, what's told to me was, no matter what, just tell them it's the constabulary's like thing to deal with. And I said, I'm not gonna say that, sir. And they said, yeah, it is, but you're told. I said, but it's not true. And I excused myself from employment. And then they respected that. And then after a few months, I returned and they accepted me back. And they said, if I want to study, they pay for my studies. But and, all I hear was like 5 wounded, bloody, like uniformed soldiers walking on the side of the highway in the snow, and nobody stopped to help. And people always say, how come they're not helping? Because what I saw then back in 2012, I couldn't talk about it all because it was like a glimpse that I saw and it was gone. I went there and my people really was trying to call. I never even got to start training or anything. I was younger then too, so I kept on calling and calling, my trainer, and no response. So I flew back from Vancouver and went there myself, and I saw something there. There was nobody there, but it was like a glimpse of something. I never talked to anyone about it because I didn't want to get locked up anymore in psych wards and pumped with medication. And then I started being in way so much physical pain, like about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I heard like some people there in Tabor, the authorities were saying while they were watching, like just in pain, and when like trying to understand. And I heard someone say like, we've only seen people in this kind of pain, and and I heard like soldiers go through this kind of pain. And I apologized, like, I wasn't a fighter. I was supposed to have a desk job. And I never ever regret, like, wanting to serve Canada, even if Canada is my second home, because it provided us a good, loving home away from our home. Canada is so beautiful and so good people. If I die and I have another chance again, I'll serve again. Yeah, by the way, I made contact with NASA and told them that, where I believe like the attacks are coming from in a matter of 4 days. I don't know how they made it, but they were in the orbit of Pluto. They did a live like global broadcast of it. They studied the ins and outs and everything Pluto was made of. And they locked in 23 nukes towards it.
Yeah, with swamps.